What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in this one, it's going to be a bit of a different video. It's actually going to be an interview that I did with a guy by the name of Hans Thisen. Hans is a YouTuber and an AI automation agency owner, a successful AI automation agency owner, to say the least. And he's been able to do all that while working a full-time job and having a family. In this interview, we go into his business, we go into his YouTube channel, we discuss AI. So stick around, and all of his links will be in the description below. I guess to start off, thank you, Hans, for joining me this evening. What time is it where you are, by the way?
We're at 9 p.m. at the moment.
9 p.m. Wow. Okay, so let's wrap this up pretty quick so you can go to bed. But yeah, again, thanks for joining the channel. Thanks for, taking the time to do this. Just to start off, can we get a, 60-second background on who you are, what you do, and how you've gotten to, this point in your life?
Yeah, my name is Hans Christian Thisen, but just Hans for short. I have a background in industrial design. I have a master's degree, engineering degree actually. So I've been working, producing or drawing and designing products for like 12 years. Through that background, I did a lot of computer aided design. Then in the last couple of years, I kind of more switched to digital and system building. Then last December, I started another company, the current company that I have, which is Scaled by Tech, due to the fact that I love software, I love tech, and I'm actually really, really good at helping people implementing technology. So that's kind of my superpower, to understand how tech works and get it to work very, very quickly. And on that note, I then hit on the OpenAI wave there in the spring of 2023. I've been playing with Jarvis from when that started, which is now Jasper. And before that, there were a couple of other softwares that I abused as well. So I knew the AI game, but it was so new that the implementation was not there yet. Then ChatGPT happened, where it really took off, and I was like, this looks interesting. I started building content systems, putting that out into the ether, and people picked that up. So I've been doing a lot of custom content systems and developing those systems ever since. Now building Scaled by Tech, slowly grinding away, and building that up.
Yeah. So tell me a bit more about Scaled by Tech, right? So that is your current company, and I saw from your website that you guys work with a lot. Basically, it's an AI automation agency, right? You're basically helping small businesses adopt AI through AI automations, AI chatbots, content system generations, and the things that you make videos about on your YouTube channel for the most part, right? So tell me a bit more about that. How did that come about? How big is your team? Things like that.
Yeah. I'll do a quick background. It all started because, as I said, I wanted to help smaller businesses implement tech and AI to help scale. And then I kind of got lost in the content creation wormhole and then I developed this rather large content system on my own, because there was nothing that tickled like it. There was nothing that actually worked for me. So I just thought, like, if I develop my own frameworks around this, I can always update them and create the content that I want to create. So that was actually how that got started.
So is that the automated blogging system?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a phenomenal product, by the way. So a little bit of background. So at our company, it's called Black Cloud AI. I have a couple other founders with me, so there's three of us, and we were in the process of creating our website, and then we came across your content generation system, and we were like, actually going to go with either Squarespace or Wix, but solely for the reason that your content generation system only works with WordPress. As of right now, it only works with WordPress because of the Make integration. You can only really
Mhm.
use it with WordPress. We were like, no, we're gonna create our website with WordPress. That way we can, set it up that way and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
your product single-handedly gave us made the decision for us on, how we're gonna create that website.
And I can say that that's a smart decision. I've I've built so many websites now that, and I always come back to WordPress. It's like, yeah. So smart decision on that one. You can actually do it in all the other software just using API calls. But yeah,
Mhm.
so built that. We then started to, like, it's only me at the company,
Okay.
then started gaining more traction, getting more customers in. And since I still work as an engineer 40 hours a week, and I have a family and two kids, like two small kids and a wife, I don't have that much time left in my day-to-day job, or day. So a guy called Yasin from Bangladesh wrote me. Like, there's been a lot of people writing to me, but he was like actually involved and seemed to have genuine interest in helping. So he's on the team now and getting paid for helping us. Um, so this is the foundation of Scale by Tech. We did these large content systems, and we then moved into the agency world, helping small and medium-sized, also large agencies uh, implement custom content systems to their clients as well.
Mhm.
Um, but the caveat here is that we're actually pivoting the company, or I'm trying to pivot the company, and I'm already doing it because I don't want to be in the purely agency space where I have to do custom projects, deliver custom projects, get custom projects, deliver custom projects. It's
Yeah.
one off, and it becomes very tedious catching, like, getting all these clients in um, at a reasonable pace and cash flowing the
Yeah.
company correctly becomes much harder. So I thought a lot about how to create a monthly recurring revenue model for Scale by Tech for our company. Um, so that is what we're going into now, is actually offering a platform system where people buy into our system. We supply them with both a visual database, which is AI table we use at the moment, and then
Mhm.
we supply them with a Make account as well. The thing here is that they could buy these accounts separately, and that's fine. I've sent almost 1,000 people to Make to buy accounts.
Mhm.
So I thought, if everybody is buying accounts elsewhere and implementing our systems on these accounts, then why don't we just supply the accounts as well? Because it makes sense to have that.
Mhm.
The added benefit, like, it wouldn't be super helpful for people to buy the accounts from me because I would have to put on margins and wouldn't make sense just to,
Yeah.
like, do that. So
Mhm.
we added in a layer of deployments, so we can, or templates and deployments. So when we deliver or give our clients these accounts, they have their own accounts. But since we got agency level access, we can now create deployment scripts for automations into their accounts.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Okay.
And
That makes a lot of sense.
that's where we start to do the value add. So you buy the accounts
Mhm.
from us, but we can then implement the automation systems
Yeah, done
directly
for you.
into your
Yeah.
accounts and get them up and running in like 15 minutes. So this is what I'm currently building a repository or library of templates which is business oriented for SMBs,
Mhm.
where we kind of get the hook. The lead magnet is the content creation system. That is what everybody wants at the moment. But I don't think it will last forever. Like, I
As
think we
a
have
lead magnet.
as a, I think people in general and the whole concept of AI content generation will be so diluted and so um, like the competitiveness of that
Yeah.
space will be so high that only a few services will survive. Um, and people, like, even if blogging is still a thing in 2 years, I have no idea. I'm kind of not sure.
I think it will, because the only reason I think it survived this up until this point is just because of SEO, right? SEO is the big driver into why people still actually even use blogs. Nobody goes to a website anymore just to look for blogs, but they will
Yeah,
literally they'll search things on Google, and then there will be websites that have a blog about answering
yeah.
whatever
They
question that they just had, right? So SEO helping them rank higher. And I don't see SEO going away anytime
No,
soon. So
it's
I
not
think it
going
still
away.
will
It's
be.
just the AI content systems are be will become very very hard to sell. Like, I give it away for free, so it's not like I sell implementation if people need that. But it will be so competitive and so hard that it will be diluted to a point where people see no value in getting a content creation system because it is so readily available,
I
and
see
the
what you're saying.
quality will increase over time. So in that's why I'm saying in 1 to 2 years, content systems will be like, if you're selling content systems, you better be like so specific, so focused that you're so niche down that it will only apply to very few businesses. And that's why like I want to move in the direction of creating more business oriented automations, where we go in and automate core functions of the business instead of only relying on content creation. So going in after the, like, for example, accounting automations, where where we start to automate receipt automation. You can take images of receipts and just send them to an email, and it will get categorized and indexed. Um, Starting to do task management, where you do um, audio logs just sent
Mhm.
to Discord. Discord is super nice for doing like quick to dos onto, because you can press and hold the speak button. So you don't have to open your audio app, record, and then upload audio to somewhere else. You can just click hold, and then everything is done. So getting these small business automations into a platform for businesses. I'm so that's where I want to take the business.
I think you're thinking about it correctly. I think you're thinking about the future of content generation systems the same way that I'm noticing now the trend that has taken place with chatbots.
Mm.
Because like I was saying, it's people don't want just regular chatbots anymore. They want a chatbot that feels more human. That so we actually at our agency we kind of had a client or a potential client that we wanted to work with a couple weeks back. Yeah, a couple weeks back. And first of all, I think part of the reason it didn't work out is just because they don't really understand what AI can currently do. Everything they kind of wanted a complete robust solution that will completely replace their entire sales team and their
Mm.
entire customer service team. So that way they don't have any employees or anything like that. Where we
Yeah.
are currently today, that's just not possible, right?
Nope.
That's already not possible. And some of the requirements that they were asking of us, it just didn't make sense. So part of the problem was that they didn't understand what AI could do. And another part of it is that, yeah, we understand what chatbots are, but we don't want just like a basic chatbot. We want the one that's can can answer user queries, can treat them as if treat them as a person would treat them, can do all these things, access a backend database and under recognize that it's talking to somebody that they've spoken to before so that they can continue that conversation history or think a bunch of different things. Like some of them were possible, but the
Yeah.
entire solution together, yeah, it's just impossible, right? And I think it's partially because what you touched on, as time goes on and people get more and more used to these types of solutions, they're not impressed with just a customer service chatbot. Nobody's impressed with just a basic solution that 2 years ago would have been flying off the shelves.
Yeah. Yeah. So one is, yeah, managing expectations on also what is the thing that you're promising in a solution.
Mhm.
Um, and that's why I never promise for the content systems. I never say this will rank, for example. I have ranked a lot of pages using the system, but I never say that the content itself will rank. I never say like this will be the best quality, because quality is just a subjective term. And again, ranking is not in the domain that we can control. That is under Google's control.
Yeah.
So again, you can get Google slapped tomorrow, and everything that was ever written by someone named John is off Google.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you
true.
have
Yeah.
no control over those factors. So I never state when when selling or promoting products things that are not under our control, because it doesn't make sense, especially like I've answered so many questions about, does it produce quality content? And my first response is, please define what quality content looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's it's the same game in AI automation, AI and automation agencies as with development has been forever. You need
Mhm.
inputs and you need outputs. Like, can you define inputs and outputs? Then you can create the system. But most people, they kind of know the output, but not really. They definitely don't know the inputs. And then it's like, I want something up here. And then, yeah, but what is that? Yeah, it's kind of like what they're doing. Okay, do you have examples?
Yeah.
Uh, Let me just find some examples. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Then they can find examples like, okay, you want this, this, and this. Um, then I
Yeah.
wanted to change based on, okay, now you're doing random insertion of templates and stuff. So trying to get clients to understand how the system works is as much of the process
Yeah.
selling as,
Yeah. What I've
yeah.
noticed as well is also being able to find what they actually are trying to accomplish, right? So in that example I
Mm,
gave earlier, she her goal was, I mean, she said her stated goal was that she wanted to replace her entire sales teams, but that's her sales teams and her support teams, which is unreasonable. But the what she's actually wanting to do is save money, right? She wants to spend less. She wants to be able to spend less money on her current employees, on her current staff, and
mm,
be able to get the same level of output, if not more, right? And that is possible with AI, right? We can't completely replace your team, but our solutions are designed to cover 70 to 80% of the queries that they'll get, right? So if you think of it as a bell curve,
yeah,
there'll be an extreme on this end of things that it can't handle, and there's going to be an extreme on this end of things that it can't handle. But about 70 to 80% of everything that will fall within the large part of the bell curve. So that's
yeah,
kind of how we have to. So I like that you mentioned setting expectations with customers, because that's what I'm learning. That's 50% of it.
yeah. And I, whenever we do custom content systems now, we have customers deliver examples of outputs. So they need to deliver
Mm,
maybe 1 to 3 examples of the output that they're expecting to get from the system. And then I also ask them to provide input examples. So for every piece of content, maybe it's descriptions, maybe it's um, some kind of special article type. Whenever there's a difference in the content creation system, they need to provide examples on both ends, because that also forces them to like define what does quality content or quality output looks like or look
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And the same can be done for chatbots. Like, please give examples of when we have these type of queries, what should be the correct answer? How
Hmm.
should it react? Please
Yeah.
define that. Because when you start to do that, they're like, oh, then it's kind of, then they start to think in this sequential manner. That is the process of how automation works. And kind of forces them to see that we can't just shake a magic ball and
And
stuff
yeah.
comes out of this unicorn over here and it's all rainbows. Um, so yeah.
So I want to touch on one thing that you brought up. What about I just wrote that down, by the way, because that's really important, I think. And we haven't I've been asking our customers or our clients things like that to give us an example of one to three examples of things that you want on both ends. We would do it typically on outputs, right? Like, what do you want our output to look like? So if it's an outreach bot, right? Give us a sample example. Give us an example of an ideal conversation that you would have for outreach with your client, right? We would do something like that, and then we would build our bot around that, and then to be able to exception handle certain things and certain like things like that. But having things on the front end as well, having like the inputs as well, would be very powerful. So thank you for that. But moving on, I wanted to talk more about just AI in general. Where do you think we are in the AI cycle, right? Do you think we're still in the early adopter phase? Do you think we're in the middle of the big boom? Do you think the big boom is yet to come? What are your thoughts there?
I think we're in the early stages still. Um, Especially like, just when you're in it, you see nothing else. Like when you buy a new car, every car looks the same. Like, you see your car everywhere,
Everywhere.
or that
Yeah.
brand. And the same is true at the moment for AI. I work, like my day job, work at a large corporation as engineer and business developer, and we have a pretty large IT department. Like, we have enterprise grade stuff because it is plus 1,000 employees, whatever. Um, and it is so hard to get new stuff implemented. So even just getting a team ChatGPT account for the automation team, which is those who write the code, like that has taken over a year now just to get that implemented.
I think that's
And they're
I
like,
think that's
we,
a fault of large corporations though, right? So a small business can act fast, but a large corporation, it has to go through so many levels of approval. It has to account for so many different things, and the process is just so slow, right? So I work at a big tech company as well, and it's the same, right? The exact same thing that you're mentioning is it's happening everywhere. It's happening at our company as well.
yeah, but then again, like, because we're a small company in the AI and automation space, of course we have implemented, we work with this. That is what we do. But the other small companies, the hair salon, the
Hmm.
agency that does X, Y, and Z, they're not in that space, and they're stressed out of their mind every day to produce cash flow, to get the next client, to keep the business running.
Yeah,
They don't have time to sit around and look into the newest OpenAI release notes about Sora and like, they don't
yeah.
do it. And so how should they know where we are and what is possible? Because they don't have the time to do it. We're still in that, like, you can do so much with AI and automation to optimize businesses, but the reality is that the businesses who need these automations the most have no fucking clue that these options even exist. They're like,
Yep.
we know about AI, but I'm still running a business, and that's it.
How do you approach those people then? What does the conversation look like approaching a business owner of a hair salon, of a medical
At,
spa, or of a dentist office, right? What does the conversation look like with that person about implementing AI into their business?
like at the moment, I don't do it. Like I only do, I only do warm traffic
Mhm.
in, and they're the people who already are getting into the space.
Yeah.
So I really don't sell anything. I just have people come to me and say like, "Can I buy stuff from you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I might have time." So um, that's where I am. But what I would do if I were selling again is not focus on AI and automation. I would just be selling them a solution that would save money. So lead with, we got a solution that can save you 60% of X, Y, and Z on this, or we can like get the first ones in and then track how much you actually save them in time and processes optimized and so forth. And then once you got one or two in that space, then just lead with the number and say, we got this new system, it can save you X, Y, and Z based on the first clients we had. And by the way, we use AI to help this or make this happen. But the AI is just a footnote because it doesn't mean jack shit to the small business owner that it's AI. What means something to them is that
The
you can
numbers.
optimize
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
save the money.
Yeah. They only really care about the how much money it's going to save them and how much time it's going to save them or whatever at the end of the day. They don't care that, oh, this is actually GPT-4 instead of GPT 3.5, or this is actually
Yeah.
GPT 4.5, or they don't care about any of that. They just, does
Yep.
it work? Is it going to save me money? Is it going to save my employees time? If
And
so,
how
okay,
much
great.
time
Mhm.
and headaches am I gonna have to endure to implement what you're saying you're gonna implement? Like that's also a real barrier when you're
Mhm.
saying like we can do optimize X, Y, and Z for you. And the first thought that comes into mind for small business owners is, do I have to do anything? Like they literally don't have time for
Yeah.
you, like to spend their time and capacity on you so you can do stuff for them. It's, I know that like they also know that they should be doing it, but it's like, that's more work, and they are like their schedule is already filled to the limit.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, so in a similar vein, what trends are you noticing right now in AI, in the AI automation space in general? What trends are you noticing that solutions people are looking for or things people are talking about?
Like I'm I'm so deep into content automations that the only people who speak to me is about content generation.
Mhm.
So I'm only in that space at the moment. Um, so I can only say from my point of view, it's getting, it is the custom stuff on content generation. So it is, the agencies are looking for how can we hyper target or hyper templatize content generation for each and every one of our clients. In the blogging space, it's how can we create articles that are following templates that are SEO optimized, that implement the images that we generate through Midjourney and get them into uh, Airtable through unofficial APIs. How do we format automatic blog creations correctly when you're doing it to Webflow, because Webflow API fucks up
Yeah.
every single styling when you upload. Um, so it's these custom things, because the general AI stuff is, it's not, again, it's not mainstream, but it's mainstream for the people who are in it and have been looking at it. So
Mhm.
they're accustomed to what AI can do. but they're looking for these very, very specific and customized solutions that help them automate like 95% of the way, because they might be able to do 60% automations themselves, just using ChatGPT or doing a simple make script. But doing the hyper focused and custom work is where I see most people come in. Like, that's what people are asking for. So
Hmm.
how can we do this very specific thing that will help me solve my content generation system or my X, Y, and Z? It's in the custom domain that I see most of the inquiries coming. It's not,
Hmm.
I just need a content system. You can go
Yeah.
to SimWriter, you can go to just ChatGPT.
Hmm.
If you want something very basic and rudimental.
Do you think that AI is for everybody?
It is for every business. So
Hmm. I
everybody
like that
is a
distinction.
hard pitch because there's a lot of people on the planet, um, but it is for almost every business. If you got like a small tuk tuk or warung in Indonesia, then you might not need AI. But all the other businesses that actually send emails, so every like if you do have a website and people sending you emails, then AI and automation is something that should be implemented and will be implemented. Um, you can see it from Google. Like if you have a G Suite account, you can now get Gemini into your account, so you'll start getting summarized emails. And I'm very confident that Google, Microsoft, they will start to automate and AIify your like the Microsoft platform, the Google platforms more and more, where they start to curate and automate your inboxes and your
Hmm.
workflows. And so much, not much, but some of the stuff that we're doing at the moment with custom automations will be swallowed up by these larger platforms and just be intrinsic to the platform.
Hmm.
So again, if you have an email, AI will come there at some
Yeah.
point. So it
Yeah.
is for every business out there who has an email.
Understood. And we only have a bit of time left. We only have like a little, about 5 minutes left, but let's switch gears into your YouTube channel.
Mhm.
How did you start your YouTube channel? When did you start it? What's the mission behind it? What got you into YouTube and content creation?
My YouTube channel is 14 years old. But what where I started to actually make YouTube videos about the stuff that I'm doing now was actually, it was around the time when I did the custom or the blogging system, and I knew that I was onto something that people wanted, because I could see the value in having this custom content system. I thought, okay, I actually made a video explaining the whole system, and I put it on a private Facebook group for SEOs, so a specific private forum.
Mhm.
And I was like, did pretty well. I got 5 clients just asking, "Hey, looks nice. Can I buy that?" Like, sure. I like, pay me $100. I'll do it. The first client was like, nah, $100. That's way too cheap. Like, I'll give you 500. Like, okay, then. But yeah, then I took those videos and put it on YouTube instead, because I saw did pretty well on Facebook. Why not put it on YouTube?
Mhm.
And then they kind of grew steadily. And in the past couple of months, I've started to produce more and more videos on automations. So just explaining the different custom automations that we do. There is no like master mind thought around what I do. It's just explaining automations in the best possible way that I can with the limited amount of time that is available to me.
Mhm. That makes a
So
lot of sense.
that's all I'm doing.
No, and thank you, and I appreciate it. And I don't know if I told you this, but thank you for leaving that comment on my first video. So for people who don't know, the reason that we're even in touch right now is because on my first video where I'm basically just explaining that I'm starting my AI automation agency and I'm starting this whole journey and the channel and everything. Hans reached out and he commented and he said, "Hey, good luck. Good luck with everything. Hope everything goes well," or something to that effect. And
Yeah,
that motivated me a lot. And I sent you an email almost immediately, reached out, and then we were able to be here today and have this conversation. But
yeah, I,
thank you, Hans. I appreciate you taking the time and having the time because I know it's about to be 10 o'clock where you are. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
should definitely go spend time with the family before you go to sleep and stuff.
yeah. They're already almost sleeping.
Where can people find you?
Scalebytech.com, or yeah, just go there. All the links are there. Free
Mm,
stuff is there. It's we will be switching the front page to a more to promote our platform more in
okay.
the coming weeks. At the moment, it's just super generic. We do automations. Doesn't really say what we do. so so but we will be working on that. Um, and I'm very excited for this automation platform that we're rolling out, because there will be a lot of small medium businesses who want to get into automations
Yep.
that this is perfect to or for. So really looking forward to rolling that out to the public.
Yeah, perfect. I'll have all your links and everything in the description below. Thanks everybody for watching. If you watched this long, thanks for the support. Go follow Hans. Go if you haven't. I'm surprised you know my stuff and not his yet, but go follow him if you haven't already. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.